Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
It's along interstate, so you see some weird plates and stuff, but never anything dangerous.
Customers at a Mapleton gas station called 911 after hearing pleas for help this morning. Tonight, a man is behind bars accused of raping a female employee at Gordy's Travel Plaza. Thanks for joining us.
Cass County deputies had to kick in a locked bathroom door where the woman and 35-year-old Abdulrahman Ali was there. Ali was arrested on charges of aggravated assault, terrorizing, and gross sexual imposition. The woman was taken to a Fargo hospital. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop talked with locals about how important the employees and Travel Plaza are to them.
Regular customers here at this Mapleton Travel Plaza say they were shocked to hear of the early morning assault on an employee.
And everybody knows everybody here, so a lot of us stop here, a couple times a day. It's the only store for miles. So it's just shocking. I mean, you get to know every customer that comes in here.
Johnson works nearby Gordy's Travel Plaza. He says he visits the plaza every day. He didn't know what exactly happened when he drove by this morning, but says he was concerned.
It was hard to see an ambulance, and the sheriff said everything cordoned off, but you hate to see this kind of stuff.
Johnson says he learned of the alleged rape from the Valley News Live text alert and immediately became worried about the two store employees that he sees every day.
No, these are two, motherly type ladies. You walk in, they know your name, and they're pretty good cooks. They make pretty good lunch here too.
Other people along with Johnson said they would never expect this serious crime happening in such a small town like Mapleton.
Yeah, there's too much of this stuff nowadays.
The Cass County Sheriff's Department tells me that the investigation is still ongoing, and at this time they are not sure if it is gang related. In Mapleton, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Many viewers asked us to look into Ali's criminal history and past. Ali is tied to 7 traffic violations and a trespassing charge. He has a Fargo address, but his immigration status is not known yet. There's no public database that allows people to look up people's immigration status. We've called Lutheran Social Services and reached out to the Department of Homeland Security, but have not received a response back yet.
Some new information on a developing story we've been following all afternoon out of California. Upwards of 14 people are dead and another now 17 injured in a mass shooting at a state-run facility for individuals with developmental disabilities in San Bernardino. Now, police right now have a black SUV surrounded south of the San Bernardino airport. That's where one suspect is reportedly still on the loose. Another suspect is wounded inside that SUV, and another one may be dead inside that SUV. The vehicle matches the description of one believed to be used in the getaway from the shooting. Now, earlier reports said that there may have been 3 people involved in this shooting at a facility which had just been the scene of a holiday party before shots rang out. There's no known motive behind the attack, which took place about 1 o'clock this afternoon our time. Stick with Valley News Live and valleynewslive.com for any updates.
Well, to our weather now, the snowfall ended and there's some melting out there, and it's still pretty icy because of those temperatures, so take it easy. Let's find out just how cool it's going to get tonight. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Stephanie. After highs in the mid-20s, all we could muster in the FM area today, the sun worked, but now we got clear skies, light winds, and things are cooling off very quickly. Satellite and radar very quiet at this hour. When we look at temperatures across our area, we are cooling off, very chilly, already 9 degrees at this hour in Crookston as mercury continues to fall on the thermometers. Here's what you can plan for in the FM area. Bundle up, 12 degrees, enough of a wind to make it feel chilly, clear skies, and temperatures by bedtime that will be near 10. That's pretty chilly. Looks like a lack of heat again during the overnight. I'll have details on when the heat returns coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
Lack of heat or just cold?
I'd call it cold. Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hutch. 2 people are behind bars tonight, and a third is still wanted on attempted murder charges related to a Dilworth apartment shooting. Arrest warrants were issued yesterday for Lloyd Johnson and Leonard Wells. Johnson turned himself in this morning. Wells is already in jail. Both are facing second-degree attempted murder charges. A third arrest warrant of second-degree murder is pending for a man named Mardell Johnson. Anyone with information about this case should call Dilworth Police.
2 Crookston, Minnesota men face felony charges after allegedly assaulting women.
Now, Fabian Morales faces 6 charges, including assault by strangulation, threats of violence, and felony stalking of his estranged girlfriend. Pablo Salinas also faces an assault by strangulation against his live-in girlfriend. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson tells us what happened.
The holidays, you know, being a joyful time generally, we don't look at the issue of stress. It can also be a very stressful time. So yeah, the incidences of domestic violence can raise.
According to court records, Fabian Morales smashed the victim's hand in a door here at their apartment on the north side of town. Morales also smashed holes in the walls, a TV, and other items in the apartment. 2 days later, things just got worse. The victim told Morales that she was tired of being hit and threatened to kill herself with sleeping pills. That's when Morales allegedly started choking her and holding her head under running water in the bathtub, trying to drown her. The victim was able to break free, and Morales was later arrested. And down on Hunter Street, according to court records, Pablo Salinas had been arguing with his girlfriend for 2 days when he finally kicked in a door where she was lying on a bed with a child and began strangling her. The victim says she was talking to a friend on a cell phone at the time who called police. The victim stated, quote, "If not for her friend calling police, she would be dead."
The question many people ask in domestic violence situations to the victims is, why didn't you just leave? Well, and many times they feel totally powerless about that. And because of the power and control that is being put on them, they're not able to.
In Crookston, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
If you need to talk with someone or know someone in a domestic violence situation who needs help, we have a full list of North Dakota and Minnesota domestic violence centers online. Go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
Holiday lights look great, but involve some work getting them up. That might not be the only challenge with the festive decorations. An expert says those trees, wreaths, and light-up Santas could be killing your Wi-Fi. Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson explains.
Do most people put up Christmas lights?
Oh yeah, every house in the neighborhood has Christmas lights up. And this Barnes over here, he never takes us down.
It's common practice to string some of these and light them up. But the holiday cheer could be affecting another common practice. Do you think you would notice if your Wi-Fi got slower during this season?
I'm not a real big user of Wi-Fi.
Ron Claris hasn't noticed a change with his internet speed, and many people don't, according to tech expert Brian Schott, who says most people don't realize what's going on.
It depends on how many lights you have and how close your router is to your tree. If you have a lot of external lights in your home, you're going to notice that you're going to see some interference there. Also, your neighbors. If your neighbors have a lot of lights.
He says the wiring in the lights adds radio frequency interference in your home, tripping up your router.
Don't have your lights or your tree connected to the same outlet that your Wi-Fi is connected to. Keep your Wi-Fi router away from that. And the best place to put your Wi-Fi router is going to be in the middle of your house.
One glowing wreath won't crash your online session, according to Schott. But if you notice it's taking longer to log on to Facebook, try doing it without all the lights.
We celebrate Christmas probably year-round. We never take our wreath down because the birds like that in the summertime.
Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
Microwaves, baby monitors, and major appliances can also create interference. If you're concerned about your Wi-Fi, there's a website to conduct a test. There's also an app for Android phones. We have a link to both on our website. Log on to valleynewslive.com and click on the hot button.
23 million Americans have had packages stolen before they could even open them. That's according to a new study released just days after record Cyber Monday sales. The Postal Service in Fargo says the volume of packages that you've shipped has shot up by double digits each of the last several years. Their advice: communicate with your mail carrier if you want packages left somewhere at your home or if you'd rather just get a slip in your mailbox. Police say it's also a crime on the rise in the area.
One, we're a growing community with just more people, but probably more importantly, people are shopping online more often. I think especially this time of year, would-be thieves know that the items that are being delivered are often gifts and going to have more value.
Fargo police say talk with neighbors who might be able to pick up your packages for you or simply have them shipped to your office.
Ready, set, launch. Key words during a lesson in creativity for elementary students in Fargo today. We'll show you more later on Valley News Live at 6. Chilly conditions outdoors tonight as we expect some lows to dip down in the single digits. But warmer weather is around the corner, too. I'll have details right after this.